Dun, 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 dun. I don't know what it is about that song, but the jazz hands come out every single time I do it. Happy day to you. Sincerely. I hope this day's treating you well. And the fact that you're listening to this podcast means the world to me, so thank you for your time. And we are going to talk today. I want to unpack what it looks like to target, if you will, the ideal client. And this is stemming off of a previous episode that I did around selling daily. But I think it's really important that we get clear on who we're selling to. And I'm not going to get into like these technical, building your marketing avatar, or your sales avatar. Like right now, I want to talk, it's going to be a little bit about that, but I don't think it'll be at that level. In other words, I think in less than 20 minutes, I'm going to share with you how to really feel your way through this process and not overthink it. Because I frankly have been overthinking it. And as I've been building this business, I find myself kind of paralysis by analysis. And so I thought I'd put on my lumberjack shirt. If you can't see this video, I've got this red and black checkered wool shirt. Anyways, that's not the point. So today's episode is 100% about figuring out who your ideal client is and how you should reach out to them. So let's get going. But by the way, if this is your first time to the podcast, very quickly, my name's Nathan Freitas, and this podcast is dedicated to helping you understand how to build a creative business. In fact, I left my $300,000 a year salary job to do just this, and I'm excited to share with you not only how I'm doing it, but others are doing it too. So let's talk about that ideal client. And here's what hit me the other day. So again, I've been in paralysis by analysis, where I've been unclear as to really, what am I doing? How am I doing it? And what is the value that it provides? And it's preventing me from reaching out to these companies. But I decided, you know what? I started to use a tactic that I used way back in the day when I started selling at Salesforce.com. One of the great things about Salesforce is they have one of the best training programs around, and so I learned a lot there. And it's one of the best decisions I ever made to go work there. And so one of the things that I learned in my sales roles was to just get on the phone or just meet with people. Mainly it was on the phone. Just get on the phone and I would try to get information. And an example would be, so right now, chances are, if you're stuck when it comes to selling, when you're probably unclear about what it is you're doing or the value that you bring. And so because you're not fully confident about what you're doing, it's preventing you from getting on the phone. Another example would be if someone walked up to you and said, "Tell me about what you do," you would ramble a little bit. Okay? Perfectly normal. I feel myself dealing with that at times too. But what I'm going to share with you right now, it means you don't have to move through that. You don't have to solve that scenario that I just shared with you before you get on a phone with someone. And I mean, it's this simple. So today I spent about an hour just calling. So what I did is I found companies that I thought I could work with. Maybe not the exact fit, but close. Something about it, what they were doing, whether it was their branding, their messaging, their leadership, something about what they were doing lit me up. And I felt like I could either do work with them, for them, or I could partner with them. So I for instance, ad agencies or marketing agencies here in Nashville. It's like, let me find some of these that are doing some really great work. And so what I started to do is I just started calling. I would go on their website, I'd find a number, and I would call. And what I would do is I would say, "Hey, I hope you can point me in the right direction. I'm just trying to find someone to talk to about how you create videos for your clients. My name's Nathan. I run a video production company here in Nashville, and we specialize and telling human stories that drive people to action. And we do that through video. Who would you recommend I chat with? That's it. That's all I focused on today. An hour of doing that. Having I call it an informational call. Just talking to someone. I was able to start to learn about how they work in their business, how they provide value to their clients. Do they even include video? If so, do they have video vendors? And you might be asking yourself, well, how do you get all that information? Because I was genuinely curious. I'm not trying to sell anything. I'm just trying to learn. So instead of spending, and this is why I love it, and I know it works with my personality. It might not work with yours, but I'm going to challenge you to give it a shot. You could spend 2 hours researching online, but those 2 hours are not half as good as 15 minutes with the actual person that you think you could be doing some work for. That's the challenge. We spend so much time, I, myself included, spend so much time online looking at blogs, looking at recommendations, looking at sites, and gathering all this information, where the people that are really successful are the ones that are out there shaking hands, having conversations, building relationships. This is the most important part of your business, period. And I say this because I'm also speaking to myself, because I've been sitting on websites and doing all of this myself, even though I've grown up selling and I know how to do it. So that is my challenge for you. I love to challenge you as a listener to stop over-analyzing what it is you're doing and just start calling people that you think might have a need for what you do. And just ask them questions. Be curious. Of course, you can add value during the conversation because you've worked with clients or you have a vision of how you can work with clients. But we're just having a conversation. And by the way, if they say, I don't have time to talk right now, your simple follow-up is, I totally understand. I've called you out of the blue. However, I still would love to talk with you. How does next Thursday work at 2:00? See how smooth and natural that is? I used to do a lot of sales coaching, and this will be the end of this very, very hyper quick episode. I used to do a lot of sales coaching for new salespeople coming out of college, jumping into the industry. And one of the biggest pieces of advice that I gave them that I've seen impact their sales lives, because I'm still friends with a lot of them, that nugget of information was to just be curious and passionate. Because those two things mixed, curiosity and passion, it makes it impossible for someone to say no. And hear me out, right? We are not talking about shoving something down someone's throat that they don't want. But if I'm curious about their business and they say they don't have time, I can say, listen, the videos that I have created for other clients have transformed their business. Or I have this vision for this video that I think would really help your business. I still love to talk to you. Passion, right? I'd still love to talk to you. And I'm just so curious to understand how you guys are currently doing it today. I have no idea whether what I do or my vision would be fully relevant for you, but I still think it's worth a 5-10 minute conversation. Can we grab 10 minutes? Can we grab 15 minutes next week or tomorrow or whatever? You know what I mean? Do you see? That's curiosity. And every time I pair those two things together, the best things come from it. And just doing that consistently over a long period of time, multiple days, multiple weeks, you're going to start to see a massive impact in your business. So that is my challenge to you. Get on the phone, call 10 people, call 10 businesses that you think you could do work with, and just start to have a discussion with them. Stop selling, start asking questions, seeing where you might be able to add value. Go do it. Have a great one. Thanks for listening to this episode. of the Creative Entrepreneur Blueprint. I'm Nathan Freitas.
And I love you.
See ya.